which I really enjoyed. That just like the master full circle, almost they just stole that half-hour segment or whatever more of all these characters. Like the HFO is growing more and more every week, and I love what they're doing. This feud with Dark Order and HFO is, to me, is top-notch stuff. Absolutely love it. Seeing the Bunny in the ring in singles action, she was very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And of course, having our new number one contender, Tay Conti, she's, like I said last week, every week she's impressing me more and more and more. And this is a testament to her hard work and paying off. And just this pairing between these two in the match was really fun to watch. And it was an elite match for me, definitely. And Bunny surprised me. I don't remember seeing her in-ring stuff. Both sold really well for each other. Both had some good chemistry. And then, of course, the added support ringside added more to the story. But after where it goes from here, I'm not sure. But I enjoyed this whole segment. Sadly, like we always talk about, the picture-in-picture gets always put in there for the women's match. I don't know when it's going to stop. But this match was an elite for me.
Yeah.
The hardworking, the very hardworking, the good storytelling, the good selling, and everything that happened before the match and after the match and during the match, outside the ring and all that. It definitely deserves an elite out of that. And what about you?
Yeah, man. I know that I think it's no surprise to anybody now that Tay Conti can go in the ring, right? I think that all of us see she's the number one contender for a reason. It's well earned, it's well deserved. That woman, she can bring it, bro. Her strikes are on point. She reminds me a lot of Thunder Rosa when I see it. When I see her in the ring, I see a lot of Thunder in her, and just the push, the way she pushes the pace. Her striking ability is always crisp and it looks brutal.
Mm-hmm.
She's always moving for those submissions and moving in very tactical, intelligent fighter. She got that fighter mentality that she brings to her matches. And so I naturally have gravitated towards enjoying what I've seen out of Tay. I think that it was a pleasant surprise to see how much that Allie could go with her. The Bunny could go, man. Like she was hanging in there. That drop kick on the outside.
Brutal.
Into the barricade. That was an impressive spot. And for her to hit it as smoothly as she did, seamless execution on her part. And the Bunny's character work too throughout. I mean, whether before this match and the whole segment with HFO and Darby, screaming in the comment and hearing the commentators saying that she's crazy and her interacting with the commentators, you could tell she's really loves what she does. She's very invested in it. And I've said it. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. Her being injected into the Butcher and the Blade again has changed that dynamic dramatically. She changes those guys. They become so much more engaging, so much more entertaining with her ringside. She's got that crazy mentality that just adds an extra layer to their performances that I really enjoy. I don't think that she's in that women's championship picture. This was a great showcase of her talents. And it allowed Tay Conti to get a nice, strong win on national television. Again, I think there's a couple things that are bothering you and I are on the same wavelength. There are a couple things that are bothering us a little bit about the presentation of the women's division, and that one picture-in-picture tends to be prevalent throughout a lot of their matches. Two, we really only get one women's match per Dynamite, which has become a trend. I think that the division is talented enough that we could venture out of that safe space and we could add another match to that once in a while, have two women's matches on a show. And then I think there's been a lot of noise in women's matches of late. Like,
for sure.
A lot of interference, a lot of other people on, in whether it's surrounding the ring or getting involved in the matches. Tay Conti beating Nyla Rose, that felt like a moment that could have really been huge. And yes, she's solidified as the number one contender, but I feel like some of that shine has been taken away because naturally there are just so many characters on screen. I think a little bit, I understand that AEW wants to get as many talents screen time as possible, continue to build stories, keep people relevant, keep people at the front of your mind. But I think sometimes that moments like this, it hurts a little bit when you have that much interference and that many moving parts going on. Now, this match in particular, I don't hate it. I thought that I understood in this match, Dark Order, Hardy family, like that those two are knee deep in this feud. So I get it, and I think that maybe it leads to more of those two groups going against each other. I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
But what this match did, what it needed to do, SPD, in my opinion, it gave Tay Conti another showcase in a singles match to prove that she's ready for a title shot against Shida. Certainly Shida being on the outside of this one, getting an up close and personal look of her number one contender in action. I thought that was a really well played move by AEW.
Yep.
And I want to see that match. I think that could be a very an interesting one where maybe we could get Tay Conti become women's champion. I think that. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, brother, yes, we want to see Britt Baker take that title, but who else on the roster is presented in a way, we've talked about it, Jade, Britt, who else on the roster is presented in a way that could legitimately take away the title from Shida? So I think that Tay could potentially become the women's champ. I think that's absolutely interesting.